And a few more coming in. Good day. This is Dawn Connett, and it is our monthly Content Managers meeting on March 13th, 2025. Thank you all for joining. If we can go to the next slide, I want to start with some announcements and introductions. Suzanne, just press return.
There we go.
There we go. One more. Go back up arrow. Well, no, I'm sorry. We got the agenda. Fine. I think the next one is our introductions. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to talk about language translations. We're going to talk about our new sites. Obviously, we always do our DX features. We're going to talk about accessibility in Acquia Optimize, an update on the Gov delivery templates, our accessibility update, and then questions and answers. Okay, next slide, Suzanne. All right. So the first and most important thing is I want to introduce the woman who's driving our slides today. And brand new to our team and already tackling lots of good stuff that you'll be learning about over the next few weeks. So Suzanne has joined us just on this week as a new member of our content editor team. So Suzanne, could you share just a little bit about yourself?
My name is Suzanne Delro. I live in Appleton, Wisconsin. My background is in IT and then website content administration and accessibility, publications. I've worked in a diverse businesses, logistics software, an aviation membership organization, as well as a Native American college. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Yay. Well, we're glad to have you. So
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, and I think I mentioned this last month, I did want to share that my retirement date is coming up on April 3rd. My position as the product owner providing strategy over digital services is posted, and the closing date is on March 16th, I think is the date. Mm-hmm. So they will be working on that, bringing in a backfill. In the interim, I'm transitioning work to everybody on the team, but Matt Perry, our project manager, is leading the team and filling in for me. I also wanted to announce very quickly that our DX training course that Shireen has, if you've attended any of the monthly training, we have 3 sets of courses. We have course 1 that is on the DX training site already, and now here is the link for the course 2. And then I did also want to mention, as we get into Acquia Optimize discussion here in a little bit, that each agency will be invited to a working session with Alexis and our digital services folks to work through your Acquia accessibility report. We've got some a check sheet and some really great instructions that there's some one and done updates that you can make on the warnings that are false positives that we've confirmed. And so there's changes that can be made to improve the accessibility score, and then some good instructions about how to tackle the other issues. And we are also working with Lullabot as we've gone through Moncito and working through to confirm some other items would be false positives, or if there's some changes that need to be made. So Lullabot is also working on the last pieces of some accessibility items as well. Next slide, please. So I want to talk a little bit about language translations, and we go on to the next slide. We have implemented a Google Translation Hub, which is a little different than what you normally think of as the regular Google translation that we've known in the past. The base translation that occurs is automated, but we do have the ability to customize the language. And we're doing this implementation first on some of the marketing sites. And so you will, and the steering committee then selected the languages that are part of our initial rollout. We can expand this and add many other languages, but we picked 3 for the initial implementation. And these 3 were selected because they have the highest population of non-English speakers. German is one of the highest alternative languages spoke in Iowa, but those individuals that speak German also speak English. So that's why this list looks a little different than when you look at just languages, population of languages spoken in Iowa, Spanish, French, and Bosnian. So on the marketing platform, and we have already launched Stop by HIV in January, and just this week, ready.iowa.gov. And with Stop HIV, you've got the link and you can go to the site. You'll see that that agency chose to do just Spanish language translation. On ready.iowa.gov, they're doing all 3 languages, Spanish, French, and Bosnian. We will be rolling this out when Stop HT launches, and we'll also be getting, and those are again on the marketing platform, and then we're going to get it onto the DX platform, launching it first on iowa.gov. So as we move forward, your agency could elect to turn language on, and then you'd have to make a decision about which languages you want to implement. And then the agency is responsible for any customized translation. You would have a page on your website that's being translated to Spanish or translated to Bosnian. And if the language needs to be tweaked from what is the automated translation, those changes can be made, but you have to give us the changes that you want made. We don't do that for you. Most agencies would have their own translator or a native speaker that they're working with to help them with that. Next month, we hope to be able to have a demonstration of the glossary, which is the way that we can customize the translation for each site. Any questions about language translation? Okay. Next slide. And again, please, Suzanne. And so here you'll see we have, as I mentioned, this week we launched ready.iowa.gov, and then Iowa DNR launched just before our last content manager meeting, but it was a big site, and very excited for both of these agencies to now be on our new platform.
Next. Okay, Dawn, I'm going to hijack this call, and everybody knows it. So Suzanne, can you please stop the presentation for a second? I have some special guests here as well. We're going to take a little bit of this valuable time to recognize you, because you have spent a lot of time behind the scenes. So I've been doing some things behind the scenes that maybe you have kind of guessed, but many of these people on the call have filled out a form. And with that form, they were asked to provide one word that describes you. And that word, you know what a word cloud does. I don't need to explain what that does. But if I worked here for 18 years and the biggest word I got would be helpful, I would be proud of that. And so, and dedicated and positive. This is what your coworkers have thought of you over the last 18 years. And what they have also done, and I can speak in behalf of everybody, we agree with all those statements on that lovely heart, because your heart is so big as well. But they also filled out a form. I hope I'm sharing my screen, right?
They filled out a form?
Yep. They filled out a form, and you have 70 slides.
You filled out a form.
70 slides of e-cards for you, Don.
Oh, that's
So
very sweet. Thank you.
So there are some really cool things here. I just wanted, it's hard to be intuitive and creative, but we do want to recognize all your work that you have done throughout the last 18 years. I've had a privilege to work with you. I remember in Hoover Building way back then, and we were talking about the project investment site, and we were working on that. And then here we are, 7 or 8 years later, we're working together on the DX project. I also want to take just a minute to, there are a few people that I've called in. Heather Nahas is on the call. I thought if she could speak for a minute, if she's still here, I still see her. Yep. So Heather, I know you wanted to say some kind words, so I'll let you say a few things.
Yeah. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
I was so happy to hear your good news. Happy for you. But certainly it took me back to the first time that we met when I very first started working in the governor's office and I was trying to figure everything out. The website that the governor had at the time, but how to navigate state government, just all of the things. And you were so helpful to me from day one. But then I think about the, adventure that we went on together over the course of really all the years I was there for 5 years, and seeing the, what has happened with the web platform since that time is unbelievable. I just pulled up the DNR site. Wow. I mean, it's so great. It's so exciting. And I'm just so thankful to have had the opportunity to work with you, to learn from you and to partner on some really great and significant projects for state government. So thank you for everything over the years. It truly was a pleasure. Thank you for your service to Iowans. Thank you for leading this, this team of all of us across all of the state agencies. But mostly, I wish you so much happiness and fulfillment in your retirement. I'm just thrilled for you. So congratulations and thank you.
Well, thank you, Heather. That's very sweet. It's really sweet to get to see you. And, I appreciate the kind words, but really this has been a team effort. I mean, I'm not the one making all the changes on the agency websites. I'm not rewriting your words and, getting rid of old content and all the work that you've done. It's been, as we call it in IT, we call it a forklift, right? I mean, it's not, you're not picking up a box. You've got to have a little truck and you are bringing a great big thing. You guys have worked so hard. And I think, I was asked, what one of my, proudest moments or accomplishments is. And I said, in the time that I've been here, the state's technology has been graded by the Center for Digital Government. We started at a B-, we went to a B and then a B+. And then this last year, in September, they announced that as they ranked websites across the country in state government, Iowa came in number 2. And so, just kind of blew me away. And the work that we've been successful, over the years, WebSpec helping to support us, and then the work that Lullabot has done and our design system, and then all the work that you all did has really improved things for our constituents. So thank you.
Such Heather, or such Dawn fashion to put the kudos all back to you. But at this moment, Dawn, we want to just say thank you for what you've done, because we know many of us have seen you work hours and hours and hours. And again, that's your heart to share the glory on that as well. I do know I did try to get Debbie on. I know you work closely with Debbie. I know you're good friends with her. But she had a board meeting. I don't think I see her on. I'm going to pause for a minute. Is Debbie on? I don't think she is.
No, as I say, I think she's on the, I think it might be the Urbandale Food Pantry Board. And so that's one of the things that I've got some other things I've got to be doing with the family for the next few months, but eventually I do hope to get involved with West Des Moines Human Services and their food pantry. So.
Great. Brian, you're on the call. Do you want to say, Brian is Dawn's boss. Is there anything that you want to add? I don't know if you had to pop off or not, and then we'll move on, but.
No, I don't have much to add, Don. We had a nice visit at our monthly team meeting yesterday, and we'll have lots of other chances to talk. But just like everyone else in the group too, I've had a lot of different roles in the state, and you've been a part of a lot of those roles. And in every one of them, you've helped me make my job better and improve our services. So thank you again.
Well, anyway, Don, you will have, I put this link in your Teams chat here in a little bit,
Sweet.
but I would ask you to soak it in. I also want to thank everybody that took the time to fill it out. I was just like overwhelmed with the good words that you received. So I hope you can treasure that, print it out, whatever you want to do it. Make sure you get it before you leave.
I will.
But again, I thank you, Heather, for joining, and thank you again, everybody. But most of all, thank you, Don, for your years of service. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead, Claire. Do you want to add? Oh, wrong thing. Sounds good. All right, go ahead, Don. You can go back and provide us some more information.
So we're going to let Suzanne share her screen, and it sounds like Shireen is with us. And
yep, I'm here.
Thank
so I'll
you.
go ahead and jump over to our DX feature updates that have gone out so far since our last content manager meeting. Can you go ahead and go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So I'm sure some of the agency managers might have already started noticing some of these emails, but you will now be receiving notification when content moves from draft or review to published. That way you can, agency managers can go in and just look at the stuff that is being published on their site and just do kind of like a content management, so you don't have to worry about something that should not be published is being published. So that is a new feature that has gone out, and I do have it linked within the Google slide of the article that Nikki had helped create, and about where that setting is at and how you guys can go about getting that notification setting set up for your agency managers on your site if you haven't gone through with that update. So that is the first feature update that has gone out. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Alrighty. Now the next feature that has updated, before there were issues where writers and editors, since they can't publish content, they also ran into the issue to where they couldn't make any edits or save any edits to content that was published. So now that has fixed itself. The dev team has fixed that now to where now writers and editors can now save any edits or updates to published pages. They can now at least save it to review and draft. So the published page is still published, but now editors and writers on your team can save their edits to those drafts, which is really good.
I think maybe Shireen, you might have frozen. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's move on, Suzanne, to the next slide. And I can just share that the alerts on the edits, you can backdate that alert. Again, the alert is the item that you can place on the top of that appears on the top of your screen. It lets somebody know if you've got an outage in a local office, or if there's a filing deadline and you want to highlight it. There's actually two kinds of notifications. There's a one that I think it's a notice or warning, and the other is alert. And so you can actually have two, but it allows you to do the backdate it, and again, that's limited to the agency manager. Any questions?
I wonder if we're having a Teams issue. It sounds like people are getting kicked off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Microsoft, what you doing today? How's it going? Technology is great when it works. I hope that you all write that down, and that's my gift to you. One of my favorite quotes. Technology is great when it works.
Right.
So Alexis, are you with us?
I think she is. She might be having issues too. I don't know if I see her.
Let's go on to the next slide. And I'll say again, so this false positives that you would have in Acquia Optimize is the issue around false positives. When you see this information, the list of issues, you may not know if it's false or not, but this information will help you figure out how to clear it. And the false positive could be, again, with a broken link, or it could be under the accessibility. And so we want you to become familiar with using the, I'm going to see if I can see this a little bit better so I say the right words. I do it all the time. It's just automatic. But if you go to to look at the page, let's go see the, we don't have Acquia up to be able to show you this, but if you look at the individual page, then you have an option under the actions to be able to ignore that. And then with accessibility, when you do ignore, it comes up with a pop-up box and asks you to type something in, and it's just to help. I think it's important to fill it in because you can go back and look at it, and then it'll trigger. Oh yes, I did review it. It was I denote this as a false positive because all titles, were reviewed. All page titles were reviewed, or it's a false positive because the sitemaps are included on all agencies. Or you could simply say that, and we give you some boilerplate language as we're going to be going through these individual workshops with the agencies, to say it's a false positive because it's been validated to be addressed in the platform. That sitemap issue is one of the issues that comes up when you're doing you check your accessibility, and it'll give you a warning that must have a sitemap. Yes, every site has a sitemap. You don't have to worry about it. We just have to mark that warning as ignored. Alexis, can you talk now? I'm trying to cover for her, but yeah, I apologize for something's going on with Teams.
I'm so sorry, my internet dropped at the worst time. Oh.
That's okay. I think if you want to go back up twice, I think we got to go back up 2 pages. There we go. I tried to cover this, but I'll let you say your words
Okay.
because they're probably better than mine, Shereen.
No worries. So for the alerts, and then agency managers might also see this, not might, but they will see this on other content types as well. But with the authored information field that is used typically on the that will be underneath the menu settings on the right side of the edit page, you can now change the authored on date, which is the dev team considers it the created on date, to where say an alert was published and it shows the authored on date was like for today, but you want it to show a different date, you can now do that using the authored information date. So that is the new update that has gone out, to where the authored information spot is where you can change the date that appears for alerts. So I was really excited about that.
Thank you, Shereen.
You're welcome.
Kevin, I think we're gonna come next to you.
Okay. Yeah, so I just want to give you a update where we're at as far as the progress to move over to those new templates that GovDelivery or Granicus developed for us last year. And I want to talk through a little bit as far as trying to get back on track with the pace of the launch of the templates for the different agencies, because quite frankly, we're behind on that, and I need to figure out a way to jumpstart that so we can get you all moved over a little faster. A couple of good news pieces. We started out over a year ago with over 401 total custom templates. We're down to 263. So kudos to everybody who helped reduce that number down to something that's at least more manageable. I know it took a lot of work, so I really appreciate everyone the time put into that. Administrators were about holding. We were trying to get that down a little bit, and we've at least gone from 626 to 590. So progress there. That's something really at this point we're just going to leave to, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to leave to each agency to self-manage, but at least we did make some progress there. So that's a positive. And I don't have the number of there's one other number I was going to get in there. I apologize, I didn't get into the slide, but it's not that important. We did launch those 8 templates at the end of last year, and most of you probably went through the training for that with the newsletter template, the press release template, etc. But the problem is now I just have not had the bandwidth to get all of these new templates made for each of your agencies and get those launched. So I'm looking at ways that I can try to speed that up. And so one idea I want to float by the group is what I'm loosely going to call a self-service approach. And that doesn't mean abandoned approach, like you just got to figure it all out on your own, but more of a self-service option where they want to pilot with at least one group. And what I'm thinking of with that is that you would go in and copy those 8 templates, the ones that you're going to use in your agency, get your logo in, get it kind of set up how you want, and then I would take care of getting the footer updated, the from address updated to your agency, and making sure everything that's ready to go. And then you would decide within your agency exactly when and how you want to launch that to get your different staff on board and so forth. So I'd like to do, if you're open to that, just send me an email, and then if you would like to be the pilot group, let me know that as well. And then I'm going to work on the new product owner for GovDelivery on my end and figure out how we can put that into place to actually get these rolled out for you faster, so you can, put all that work and getting those in place and learning about them, so let's put them to good use. And so I want to speed that up. So if you're open to that, email me, let me know. And I'm also going to talk to the GovDelivery folks and see if they have some capacity to help us get those templates ready as well, so that we can get this out the door and put it into use and move forward. So if you have any questions, comments about that at all, you can just reach out to me offline and work through that, but just acknowledging we're not where we should be. And so I'm going to work with you to figure out how do we jumpstart this to get things wrapped up here in the next couple months, I'd like to at most. So just let me know if you have any other questions. That's really all I have for updates for today. And I appreciate all the hard work everyone put into getting us to where we are. I'm not sure who is next, but you can see it's Todd,
It's me. Yep.
the man
Hey,
of the
guys.
hour.
All right. So these are the same slides as last week. Same song, different verse, right? There's two things that content managers want to know about the accessibility project I'm working on. Is we're working to remediate your existing documents. There are two pieces to this. You guys are working on the creation part every day, and a lot of this conversation was about that. Go ahead and do the next slide. So the main part to keep reminding you is the remediation piece, right? So make sure your agencies are still, I'm sorry, go ahead and skip this slide. You already heard all this stuff. Remediation, right? So a lot of you guys have your inventories complete. A few of you have your inventories that are, the inventory itself is complete, but you haven't decisioned yet on your docs. I mean, I am very much dependent on you guys to let me know, yes, I've got documents on the site. You know, a few of them may still need to be removed. You may look at them and say, you know what, we don't need this doc on the site. We're not going to remediate it. So if your inventory, mark it removed. You have the criteria to when a document can be archived. So again, with the current ruling, if a document meets the criteria to be archived, we can mark it archived, we can put it in a specific place, and that document doesn't need to be remediated. The remaining documents need to be remediated. My project has some budget to cover some of it, but many of the agencies have so many documents that my budget would never cover taking care of those, right? But we are working on a master agreement with Alliant. We're very close to getting it signed. And once that's done, then you'll be able to leverage that master agreement. You'll be able to write your own SOW and get those documents remediated by that third party if you wish. The key to the whole process, right, is keep asking questions. This is still relatively new for most of us. The remediation piece is not something that people have done before. So if you've got questions, do not be shy, reach out. Last bullet point, right, take actions. Make sure that your inventory is out there, make sure every document's been decisioned, and then work with me to get them remediated. Any questions? My group today. All right. That's all for me.
Alrighty, and I just wanted to remind everyone of our open office hours that will be today at, well, today's Thursday, at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. CST. I have the live link on the basic training page as well as within this slide. So I will be there if you guys want to just join in to troubleshoot any issues you might be having, or if you want to join in to see if anyone is troubleshooting any issues and you're like, what you doing? You know, you can pop into those office hours and we can just work through stuff together, or we can just sit and stare at each other. But those office hours are there to help support you guys in any way that I can provide that support. So that is today at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then if you go to the next slide for me, please. And then also for the content manager meeting, like all the resources, specifically also this recording of this one is also going to be available once the video is uploaded onto the drive, but it'll also be available within that, what do you call that? The listing page of events too, if you ever want to see like what we covered on our last meeting and the links to all the resources that was within the slide and whatnot. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that as well. I'll pass it over to you, Jessica.
Sounds good. I do strongly encourage you to take the opportunity to go to the office hours. And it's just like maybe just that one-on-one attention. I mean, I would have to say it's very reassuring that we have a support system in place. And so we want to make sure that you use that to the full capacity. So again, just come in, maybe you have a ticket open and we haven't responded, or in the sense of we need to learn more about that issue. I would strongly encourage you to jump in, and then Shireen can capture it. And if it's a bug, take it to Lullabot, and that's kind of our process. Obviously, it's just a really good way to continue learning and having that support. Some of you know that I was a former Google support specialist, and so that is just the way that we're modeling that same kind of philosophy. We're here to help you and make sure that you have support. Dawn did have an eye appointment, so that's kind of why I had to squeeze in the retirement party celebration. And again, I thank you all for filling that out. I know she's having a kind of a tough time, so I really appreciate you loving on her the way that you are, and thank you for that additional support and time that you provided. With that, I probably won't be able to answer any questions, but I definitely have people here that do. Is there any questions and answers that we can provide, hopefully? You can put it in the chat or raise your hand. That would be great. We are a quiet group today. I think we're all just like ready to go outside and have our lunch, right?
Yeah.
So I'll, last chance, any other questions? Okay. Well, with that, again, thank you. Rumor has it there will be some kind of a recognition in person for Dawn. More to come later. If you are interested in that, I'll make sure that we get that informed to you as well. But again, thank you for all that you're doing. I mean, seriously, give yourself a pat in the back. Dawn is completely right. We would not be in the place that we are without all of you guys' hard work. The websites look amazing, and we're continuing to work on it. And we have some more exciting news coming up as well to share with you that will even make your sites even better. So we're working behind the scenes and providing the support that we can, and we couldn't do that with all of you. So with that, enjoy the sunshine one more day before it rains, I think Friday and Saturday. So with that, thank you. And the recording will be posted on the website at a later time. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.